welcome back to Coffee and Chaos. I'm Alina Pineda, your host. And for those of you who've never watched before, and for those of you that have, guess who's back again?
What's up, everybody?
Mr. Tom Selleck.
I'm
How are you, Tom?
good.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Good. Let's introduce our little Chiquita over here.
Okay.
Lexi.
I'm back.
I know you are back. You haven't been here for a while.
It's been a long time.
The holidays, the boys,
Life.
crazy life. Life has been lifing, huh?
Definitely.
And then our awesome producer, Solomon.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. How's your New Year's been?
Slow.
Oh,
I wanted to pick up.
yeah. Let's go. Let's.
Yeah.
For all you that want to start a podcast, it's easier than you think. You just show up, give him a little drink, and he does the rest. And I don't mean drink. I mean like a refresher drink.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little hydration.
Yeah. Let's not start.
Someone's going to bring you a Hennessy bottle and be like, here you go. This is for you. Tom, what's new? Since our last podcast, our last episode was pretty, everyone felt like we were picking on you. Everyone felt like you were upset about the Disneyland thing, and poor Tom had to deal with 3 women. I was like, then he must be weak.
Wow.
He can't deal with 3 women. And we were nice to you.
I thought it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I said what I wanted to say.
I love that Daniela in the moment I heard it, but I didn't focus on it when I went back and listened. And she said, because you were really hot about Disneyland.
Mm.
And I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But she said everybody has different priorities.
Mm-hmm.
So some people go out and they go drinking and they spend, nowadays you go out and you have some drinks, you're spending at least minimum $100 in a night. So you do that 3-4 times a month, which people do. There's your Disneyland money.
Some people do that 3-4 times a week.
I
Yeah.
wasn't going to say that because, I'm trying not to judge people. But,
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
you spend your money in different, and that she's not hurting him and she's not doing anything. I love Disneyland. We go. Like, there's not, But I was like, she has a point. Like, everybody has different priorities. Like, that's just what she chooses to do. It's a healthy outlet.
Yeah.
But I think, what did I tell you this week? You like toxic women. I feel like you like
I like toxic women. No.
I feel like if you found a very humbled, quiet girl, Tom would be like, she's boring.
No.
No?
I don't think so.
I think you like to have your little engine revved a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
No.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, because when women are like that and then you hold any kind of boundaries, they're like, oh, you just want a weak one. You don't want a strong one. You don't want one that will da-da-da. So I hear it both ways, whatever. Like, no, I don't want that.
Let me ask you an honest question. Do you like women?
Yes.
Do you want a girl?
Yes.
But you don't think highly of us.
No, I do think highly of
Oh, I
you.
thought he was going to say no.
I do think highly of you. I think that,
It's okay if you don't.
no.
Times have changed. The world's not the same.
The majority of people and vice versa on the other side towards what you're looking at, men, you wouldn't say that their character, their who they are as men is the top on the list anymore. Like the majority of men are weak, they're this, that. So you see it too
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
opposite side.
I agree
So
with
it's
you.
just what's happening is the majority. And so that's all the time when I speak to you ladies, and I have to reiterate it 1,000,000 times. I'm not talking about you. If it doesn't apply to you, I'm not talking about you. You might be the rare one that, oh, well, I don't do it and I don't do that. I'm talking about the norm of what we're seeing today, the general, the majority of the people, 80% of the women doing this, 80% of the men doing this. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the ones that I like, yeah, they're the 20.
We were
I'm
on the
looking
phone
for-
this week.
So they're still out there. I mean, same thing like, my son and his girl, when I look at their relationship, yeah, they have their challenges, but I love the way they discuss things and it gives you faith back. You're like, man, I like that. That's cool. So
But do you think that's because you raised him? So he has your ways.
He has my ways, but my other sons are different. You're all in the same household.
Is he the
but they're
oldest
different
or the
people.
second
He's the
to the-
second,
to the oldest,
second
yeah.
oldest, but he's the most like me.
Yeah.
even actually supercharged.
Well, a lot of it, some of it's genetic too. You just
Probably.
genetically are who your parents are,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready?
Ready?
So when I tell you what you obviously know we're talking about, I have some questions with it though, because when we brought up the topic, and I had to hang up the phone with him because I know, like he said, I'm not talking to you. I was like, yeah, but you're just, and I'm not a huge. I'm a girl's girl, but I'm a girl's girl for the hardworking, true women. You know that, Lexi.
Mhm.
I hold us accountable.
Yeah.
I try to make us be like live in reality, right? And I get what he's saying, but this time I was defending every woman, even the bad ones. I even said, "You want some girl to slash your tires?" And da da da. I was like, you know what? I gotta go. I'm gonna let you say the topic because then I have questions, so we know
Okay.
not the boundary. We know the guidelines to the topic.
So the topic was there's so much controversy with this, and it offends the majority of women that I see. They're all offended by the answer. So
By the answer or
or
just
by
the question?
Excuse me,
Okay.
by the question. You're right. What do you bring to the table? If that question's asked, they're right away they're offended.
I think the women that get offended by that question are the women that have low self-esteem, that feel they are low value, because that's the only reason why you would get offended.
Hold on. Let me ask my boundary questions because now I'm like, wait, what?
Mm.
I that's what I believe.
Because Alina's offended, right?
No, I don't know.
no.
I'm not offended. I think it's more funny. I'm not offended, but I think like, why would you even ask that? Like, so
No,
here's
yeah,
my
it is a
question.
stupid question.
Yes, that's more my point.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you these, and so we could kind of go through them because as I was thinking about this, I was like, how soon in a relationship are you asking? Are you asking on a first date? Are you asking 3 weeks in? Are you asking like 6 months in? Like,
I'm probably never asking that question. I think Lexi brought it up. You don't need to ask some things, right? You
Yeah.
you can be around them and
Figure it
being,
out.
and you can
So-
figure things out for yourself. So I'm not necessarily asking the question. I just have seen that
On social media,
and I'm wondering like why are they just getting fired up and like the majority, and I haven't heard one woman answer it very good. Like they haven't had a good answer to it.
what
And
age
I'm
group
like-
are we talking? Our age group or Lexi's age group? Because
Well,
there's a vast difference.
You know, I don't know. I don't know what the people's ages are,
Okay.
but they're probably. I would imagine they're
30
probably
plus.
35 to 45.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're maybe 50. I don't think it matters that much. Again, we go into age where, hey, is it 21? No, I don't know. I hear it across the board asked probably for younger girls, 28, probably girls that are 45, 50. I mean, I've heard it. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like it's
that
got to
the-
be the younger people, younger than me, that are asking that question, because I feel like the younger you get, like people that are barely in their 30s, I'm 36.
Yeah.
So if you're early 30s and younger, those are the most masculine, or no, those are the most feminine men. So those men that are asking those questions, because they are so feminine these days, everybody is a YouTuber, TikToker, like where are the mechanics? Where are the laborers? Like, and so they're like, now I feel like they want everything to
because
be
women
more
are becoming
equal.
those.
And men and women were never designed to be equal.
No, never.
Right.
And
Never.
so I think that that's what it is. Nothing that older people, and I think older people are the ones that know enough to know from maybe seeing their parents or whatever. Like what's understood doesn't need to be explained. So you just sit back, you watch how each other moves, and you figure that out. I definitely think it's the younger people that ask.
So
it.
I've seen it with the older ones too.
Yeah.
Well, but
And that's like
my question would be to you though, with all that being said, because you're in the 30-40 range, okay?
Mhm.
If
Sounds so serious.
I know, I didn't give her age. She
I
could
don't care. I'm
she just
36. I am what I
see,
am.
I didn't say, but you could because you have kids, because you're a mom and everything like that. Somebody could ask you right now, like, and if
Mhm.
somebody asked you, like, hey, like, you're cool, your kids are like well mannered, they're all active and stuff, right? Like if we got together, like, what do you bring? Like, what do you offer me?
I'm gonna be like, look around, sir. Do you need your eyeballs checked? Not only do I have a very good job, and it's equal to, if not better than, a lot of the men that I meet nowadays. I have my own house, my car, my kids are taken care of. So you're not coming into, at some point,
You're-
are those like
You don't need Captain
responsibilities-
Save-A-Ho.
Yeah, are those responsibilities, like, are there going to be some expectations at some point? Yes, down the road, but that's not an immediate need. And then on top of that, if you got to know me, well, first of all, I'm funny. I'm like really funny. And so
She's like, that's what I'm bringing to the table, is my humor.
So it's women, people confuse feminine, people confuse feminine value with masculine labor.
Yeah.
So while you're supposed to be out there and like paving the way for us and creating this, be strong, and you go out there and work, my femininity, like if I'm sitting there and you're having a stressful day, but I'm funny and you come home and I'm making you laugh, even though you're stressed and you have a million things on your mind, and I make men kick their feet like this, like I'm doing my job as your woman by taking you out of that space.
Yeah.
And now here you are and you're able to decompress
Yeah.
and relax, and I'm creating that space for you.
Mhm.
Like, you know,
So would you tell him I'm bringing my humor?
I would tell you, sorry, I'm funny. Yeah, I would absolutely say that. And then on top of that, like, not only, I have great ideas. Like, I will call you at 6.
She really does.
I will call you at 6 in the morning. I will call you at midnight and be like, oh my God, we have to go here. I've already planned it. Like, if
Yes.
you say yes, I have to just push book.
Yes.
I'm very
will.
spontaneous. I know, and I don't say this in a cocky way, but being with me, I'm an experience. Like you, that's it. I am an experience. We are
Wow.
going to have a good time.
But do you
I'm going
want to
to
be
nurture you and
just
take
an
care of you.
experience, or do you want to be a lifetime of experiences?
No,
Meaning
I'm-
one person.
No, one person.
Yeah.
We're going to have a life worth living.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So but being with me is the experience. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to be like, man, you'll never, I know
I
that.
think that at my age, at 51, because I'm a lot like you, I have all my
ducks in a row.
ducks in, or my T's are crossed, my I's are dotted, right? I wouldn't be offended. I would laugh more so, because if a man asks me, like, what do you bring to the table? I know what I bring to the table, but you're not getting my table. Like like I told you guys, like before we started, my house goes to my kids. My 401's going to my kids. Any savings I have is going, everything is going to the kids that have dealt with me, which you know is a lot, Lexi, up to this point. They've earned that. They've earned what I bring to the table. So what are you looking for at my age at 51? So if I met Tom and we're relatively the same age, right? And you're like, well, what do you bring to the table? I would laugh like, we're
Sir, I'm
old.
the table.
Yeah,
I am the
like
table.
we're old
say
at
that.
this point.
I am the
The
table.
only time you're the table is when you're on all fours.
Well,
And if you're a masculine man and a
Okay.
strong man, then I'll be the table.
Okay.
so, how are the Dodgers doing? Oh my God. So I would like if he said that, I would just be like, first of all, I don't know which one of you said it because we talked about it before and here. I would be offended that you asked that day one, because then in my head, you've either heard something about me in the sense of she has a good job, she has a house, she only has 2 kids, right? Like, what are you looking for? You think I'm a sugar mama? So
Yeah, you're looking for a handout.
Yes.
Or you're insecure about something.
and you're not like, I don't care how good you are. I don't care how good your corn dog is. I don't care how good you think that smile is or how much your humor is. Like, the one thing about me, and I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact you can vouch, and hope you can, it's never gonna take my focus off my kids and what they deserve, right? I'm never gonna all of a sudden say, but I love him and he's so hot and we're gonna get married and I put him in my will. It's not ever happening. So bringing something to the table at my age, I feel is like it's too late. Like, the table's been made, the table's taken care of. Like, I know Tom's like, see?
I think at your guys' age, you guys should
No.
both have your own tables. And now it's just like, the extension in the middle of the leaf.
Yes.
Now our table just got longer.
I
Now
think
we're a dining room, like
Yes,
a whole set.
yes.
I think that men and women view it totally different, and I think that's why they're offended. So for right away, it's always what they're assuming the man is asking is financially stuff, where I'm at, my job, my home, and they're not asking that, or necessarily
Exactly.
asking that.
Okay.
It's their virtues, their qualities, their who they are. Their you mentioned it a little bit. Your humor. It's your wisdom. Your the way you balance me out. the way you encourage me. It's all these other things. It's not necessarily, it's can you bring peace to me? Can you bring these kind of things? So together can we build? If I bring home whatever to you, can you take that and multiply it? A lot of women can. They'll take whatever I bring, they'll make the house a home. So that's the virtues and the things that a lot of people are looking for. Go ahead.
Question, teacher. How can you ask that? Don't you have to see it? Because I can tell you, oh, I'm old school. Oh, I'm this. And oh, I'm that. And I would never this. And I would never that. And I pray every day, right? And I'm this. But then 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in, 2 months in, you're going to be like, I asked you all this and you said this.
I think where it starts is a mindset. When you start thinking and you're already in defiant and you're already, upset at the question, you're always, whatever it is, it's your mindset, and you'll show who you are, and you'll show your willingness, and you'll show that you are that woman. You are, in the Bible, right? In the Bible, this is where it goes back to. I'm going to pull it up. So,
Would you say,
he's
Solomon?
pulling out the phone. now.
yeah, I'm going to pull up the phone. So, it talks about a virtuous woman. This is what all men, this would be his, better than
Dream.
rubies, it talks about, right? It's a virtuous woman. And that's what she does, right? Is basically she's trustworthy. She's capable of being trustworthy. She's industrious. She's God-fearing. She values her values far exceeding jewels. She brings good to her husband and family, managing her household, showing kindness, and ultimately praising the Lord, right? Her character is defined by her faith, her integrity, and her she's selfless in service. So these are the things that there's so much more than that. But we're zeroed in on just the money, and if it brings money in, and a lot of times people will think that's value. Oh, I make a lot of money, so that must be value. But depending on how you bring it in, doesn't mean it's value. You're saying you're worth something just because a dollar figure. But all of us are focused on that dollar figure and that money and thinking that it was that. And I know that's why I just sat back and listened, because I wanted to see where you went with it, and I knew right away because I watched all the women do it. And I didn't have to say nothing. I just be quiet, let them go right to where we're going with that. But she did touch on it a little bit about saying her humor, and she's 100% right. There's so much more to it that's going to build this guy, and that's going to hey man, if I got a woman like that's encouraged me, I got a woman like that's coming to me soft. I mean, I talked to my mom about this today. I say, Mom, this is it.
Oh, you talked to her? Were you nice to her?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I asked my mom a question. My mom was like 100%. But my mom was like, I said, look at what I'm seeing a lot of times. You see women when they're like, well, you didn't even do this and you didn't that. And they're nagging and they're complaining and they don't have enough. And they didn't. But then you'll see another woman be like, babe, man, you're so great. You're amazing. I love the way you treat me. You do all this stuff. Is there any way we can go and do da-da-da-da? And we can, and 9 times out of 10, that man is going to do all those things for that woman. Yeah. But it's the way of the act, and it's the tearing the guy down and tearing his masculinity down. And the other thing that they keep on doing with women is they're basically they're shaming him. Oh, it's just not you're man enough. Oh, it's just not this and that. Oh, you do, and they just start trying to knock him down. Oh, you just can't handle strong. Oh, it's because you can't handle a strong woman. You can't do that, and try to shame me into. No,
but I think that's a them problem, because if you're intimate with somebody,
yeah,
and you need to degrade them, insult them,
yeah.
That's a you problem. Right. Hurt people. Yeah. You need therapy, because if I'm intimate with somebody, why am I going to want to argue with them and fight with them?
Even if we're not, though, it already goes back to what the majority of the women, when they start to answer the question, you've showed that they're already in a defensive a little bit manner towards this question. They're already going, so it shows the mindset of they're already leaning in that direction. They're already like, Pew! And this
I don't understand it just because I come from a different generation.
I think the thing is, women are supposed to bring comfort, supposed to bring peace, and do all these things. But men today, I feel are so mentally tortured that with whatever they have going on,
Yeah.
that a woman can come into their life and be their biggest supporter and be like, oh my God, I love you. I support you. I'm your biggest fan and all of these things. And they're like, I can't deal with this. You're too needy. You're too much. You're too this because you're not right here.
Right.
And then that is the biggest issue, I think,
Yeah.
with men nowadays. So the woman could be knocking on
She
their
could
door.
be some of those things.
Yeah.
But she could be a lot of that stuff, and vice versa on both each other, right? But sometimes with all the extra drama and crap that comes with that person, whether it's a guy or a woman, the juice just ain't worth the squeeze. I don't want to deal with you. Either you bring it all, but you bring all this other fire and chaos. Like it's not worth.
But
It's not
so
worth the deal,
Could
right?
you
for
deal
that
with
person, but-
could you deal with no names? Could you deal with a calm, happy, jolly, like easygoing, no drama, like bubbly girl? I feel like that would
But
be.
I couldn't deal with that.
Could you deal
Could
with that?
you?
Yeah, I could deal with that. My ex, it was 28 years with her. She was very calm, very that, but she just not was very good communicator and very, there was just things with not, my kids and discipline and all the other things that came with that. But yeah, she was that very easy going, didn't talk much. It was hard to drag something out of her. Like,
So we must
So-
drive you crazy then.
so,
Because dear God.
but
We
and
gotta
I
shut
think
the
this
hell
is the
up.
other. So this is the other thing. I think that why it drives women, the majority, or it offends them, or it drives. So we kind of touched on this before. Men were taught how to treat a woman and not what to expect from her. Women were taught how to be treated by a man, but not how to treat him. Right.
Mm.
So when you go and all of a sudden ask something of her, she was never asked nothing
But they
of
were
as
also
a.
taught-
She was always expected that you're going to serve to me. I'm
Yeah.
expected to extract from you. I'm not now. All of a sudden, what you want to extract from me?
No.
Oh, this is foreign to me.
Women
That's
were
not
taught
true.
what to.
What do you
Women were
mean?
taught
Yes,
what
it
to
is.
expect from a man.
Yes. That
That's
part
what
is
they
true.
were taught.
They were taught what to expect
Expect
from a man.
Yeah.
But women, I think,
And-
old
and
school
men were
women
not taught
how
how-
to serve their man, how to be a good woman to their man.
Yeah.
And I
treat
think
them.
over time that is lost because the less the man provides, the less a woman is going to give back.
And the more that a woman has to do on her own, she's going to expect less from
And
you.
trust me, whatever woman decided it was a good idea, like they want to be,
Oh yeah.
shut up
Yeah.
because it
So this
pisses
is
me off.
so this is how I see that though too, right? Because you basically have to try it out. You have to almost experience with it and treat whatever you're going to do. You got to be okay. You know what? I am going to go down that road, and I am going to treat my man like this. I am going to be sweet, and then I'm going to see, does that really work? Does he really come back to me in time? So you got to like almost give it, but you got to give it a real honest effort.
Right.
To do it, you can't be like, I half stepped and he didn't give me what I wanted today. Like, no, it's the same thing. Like with
Okay. Question. So if I came to you, right, we're first date, our first couple of dates, and I was just very blunt, very honest, and I was like, look, this is the kind of woman that I am. Like, I want to be taken care of in this manner. These are what like I want to be, whether it's be home or work a job that's less demanding, and I will take care of whatever little needs that you need, physical needs, emotional needs, mental, all the things. Like, is that offensive to you? Like, do you immediately be like, ugh?
no.
Because
Why would that be offensive?
because I feel like a lot of men would look at it
Oh,
like, oh, free love.
there's a-
Oh, she wants.
Yeah, but that's-
No,
His
because but
generation,
you're
like-
basically you're not just saying what you're you're not just saying what you want. You're saying what you're willing to give too, though.
yeah.
So why not
But
have
look
that?
at the generational difference.
Because I couldn't
though.
ask men
her age.
my
She
age
couldn't
that.
ask, and I'm going to vouch for her. She can't.
I would. I mean, I could see the weaker men. So
Yeah.
it's apparent to me
I
too
could never ask.
that I
But
see
it's
that
not just the
My
men
age.
that are weaker, because I know women that are Lexi's age
Yeah.
and a little bit younger.
women are weaker.
And I'm sorry, you don't work and you can't take care of your kids because your husband's at work. Like, Lexi, you know, and I know, if in our lives, if somebody came and said, hey, stop working, just raise the kids, I would have been like, that house would be immaculate. The kids would be fed, dinner. And I can say that because I did all those things
Mhm.
and still had to work, right?
Mhm.
So I think that as a whole, the generation itself, the women that are stay-at-home moms are weaker, right? The men are weaker, but then the women that are like us that have to go out there, we become, I feel like, to a point, so hardened
Yeah.
that we can't deal with the men that are out there.
If I'm masculine, it's for survival, not because I want to be. Trust me, I don't. Because anytime I've been in a relationship, and I've been in relationships with what I consider some pretty strong men, and then when I was able to be soft, I was like, oh my God, this is so nice. But those were also men that were older.
Oh, yeah.
And anytime it's been younger, it's more of like a.
Well, I'll tell you
Guys
one
have to go to
thing
work, huh?
men bring is, and I've always known this between my brother, my dad, my stepdad, my grandpa's, but Seth moved out in August, moved away to Vegas, right? He's home this week. And so I've been on my own this entire time. The dogs. I have slept every night like a newborn baby. If the dogs bark, house is getting broken into, you got to deal with Seth, right? Someone's outside still in the car.
Sure.
Like, I woke up this morning and thought, oh my gosh, it's because he's home and I feel safe.
Yeah.
When he's not home, there's a bat by my bed, there's a bat by the front door, the dogs bark, and I'm like, what is that? Like, and I don't care who you are as a woman and how strong you are, unless you got a gun, right? And you know how to use that gun. And I don't, and I don't want one. We have men for protection. For me, that is a huge thing. So if I had a guy and he said, what do you bring to the table? But you're a weenie and you're not gonna protect me, and I'm not the type, and you guys both know, I'm not the type to go start trouble when we're out or nothing like that. I'm just saying, if we're sitting at home and the Amazon guy comes at the door and he's knocking and I don't know who he is and he's a big scary guy, like, I'm not getting the door. Like, you better go to the door and say, who is it? Oh, sorry, it's the Amazon package. Like, oh, okay. But when I got to go to the door, like, that's not okay.
Well, so what I noticed, I don't know how hard it is, the transition, because I'm not a woman, but I noticed, because I hear it all the time from women, like, they've had to take on this role so much, right? This man role, because they're forced to. So they don't have the man, or they don't have this, or so they're just, or their man's lame and they have to, right? So they're being put, because my step grandmother brought it up to me a long time ago about that. Women, they just put the pants on, don't even know they're doing it sometimes. If the man's just falling apart and there's a need to be met, they just put it on, they just do it, right? Yeah. So, like, how difficult it is, because when they do come across that man, they're still trying to go into this mask. It's it's still a learning curve for them to, like, when and how much and how soft and how gentle should they be. And they're still kind of fighting. And then the guy's kind of like fighting it over, like, hey, wait a minute. Let me take care of this.
I made sure to tell them, I said, I am by far a stupid person. I said, but when I am with you, the brain is off. The brain is completely off. I don't want to have to think. I don't want to have to do anything. Lead the way. And if I trust, and that's only if I trust you. That's only if I absolutely trust you. And then I'm just like, I don't even care where we're going. I just know I'm going to like it. And I know I'm going to be okay.
And that, what goes to, like, who we're going out with, because if in a lot of different areas, I don't want you really telling, my kid this, or I don't want this or that, or then you don't trust that guy. Like, you don't really trust that guy to the fullness, and you don't really, but like you said, if you're in a state where, you know what, man, this guy's character, everything that I've seen that he's done, he's passed with decent flying colors every time. So, and then I'll see sometimes, and women challenge guys or put them to test, not purposefully. It's just, that's how the nature is. And they kind of like, oh, that was a little test and if the guy, what I don't understand is, a lot of times he gets put to a test and he does well. Put to the test again, does well. They question him again, does well. After about 5 or 6 times, do you think on the 7th or 8th one, they would be like, you know what, let me not challenge him again? Like, leave it alone already. Like, he already did it 6 times in a row and showed me up the 6th time, but I still want to challenge him on the 7th, because this is different. Are you serious?
Yeah, no.
Like, so guys, like, that's a thing.
State.
That is from a very
an
unhealed state.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's common.
It's
very
hard.
much. I see it all the time.
But it's hard when a woman, and Lexi, the 2 older boys, you're a single mom, 100%. Those are your kids, right? Mm-hmm. We have to make we have to be mom and dad. And for me, Seth's 25. He's grown. He came home this week. He wanted to make a big purchase. I can't tell him no. He's 25. He's a grown ass man, right? But I said, let's sit down. Let's be realistic. This is what you have in your bank. This is what the purchase is. You can buy it, but then this is the remaining balance. And
This is what we're gonna
so
be
I had to
dealing
go,
with
and
that day.
I now that he's
Yeah.
25, have to talk to him like an adult, explain it to him, respect him, right? All this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of all of it, I said, and this is how much money you have left.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at me and goes, you just hate me. You can't let me have any fun. And I went in the room and I shed a tear because I thought, if his dad was here, I'm trying not to cry now. Like, that's your job. Why do I always have to be the bitch and tell him no all the time? Like everything, I am like in his eyes, you do hate me. It's always no, 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 no. So I went in and cried and took a moment. He wasn't mad. He didn't know. So when I came out and I said, Papa, you can buy it and I'll help you, but da 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 da. And he goes, no, it's okay, Mom. I understand. Like he was but in my head, I never get to, like what Lexi just said, take the pants off. On both my kids, I'm always like, my daughters want to get a dog and oh dear God, like I want it. Yes, exactly.
They
Like
don't. They're like me. They look nice on Instagram. Don't get the dog.
they're getting a dog and I'm going to support them and I'm going to love them. And I always tell my daughter no for things. And I'm the bitch mom because I'm both parents, right? But believe me, I don't want to be. So now if I'm going to date a guy, you have to be stronger than me. You have to mentally challenge me. Because if you just walk in and let me walk all over you, one, I'll walk all over you till bored, ask Lexi, and then I'm done with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, I can't do that. You need to be mentally stronger than me. You need to bring something.
And that's
to the
okay
table.
being mentally stronger than you, but after he showed you that 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times, stop challenging him. Continue to. That's what I see with the strong women. They keep it up. It's like, wait a minute, he's already proved to you. He's already keep on every single decision. Question him again. It's a different circumstance.
But we just need to know for sure.
Oh man, you can't do that, man. You can't keep on doing that.
Then
But
that's why I said it's a lack of respect, because I've been both people where there was somebody I had absolute respect and trust for, and I never questioned anything. It was just basically what you say. Oh, that's law. That just is what it is. And I loved me being that person.
Yeah.
I loved me being that person. I was probably the happiest. Like that was it.
Yeah.
And then I've been with people where I was like, okay, that was good.
I'm
that
like,
was
but
good.
if you
there
don't
was something
respect
I didn't.
me-
There was something for whatever reason I didn't respect, and I was like, and if I have to question it, I look at you like, I think I
then,
can do that
we don't
better.
need to be together then.
Yeah, right.
You know, like just nip it in the butt now because I don't want to do all that. If you can't, you're not like this.
I think for me, the last person I've ever felt like that for, ever, was when I was engaged. Like he was like his like you said, his word was law, and I was not arguing with that Texas man. Like I felt like he's a true Texas guy. Like your yes is your yes, your no is your no. Yes, ma'am, thank you. Everything was polite. Like my grandma absolutely loved him. So when I was with him, he very much was like, we're gonna go here, and I was like, I don't know where we're going. Just like
As I said, I don't know where it is,
like-
but I'm gonna like it.
like, yeah, like I'll never forget. He was like, hey, Loran has a softball game on Saturday in Palm Springs. I said, yeah. He goes, okay, we're going to stay the weekend. So make sure if her friend's coming, which is now her friend was what we realized was her friend. The parents are okay. We're not coming back till Sunday. And I was like, oh, he's like, we're going to stay out there. And I was like, okay, right. No questions asked. Had Seth, well, we went to a whole softball tournament out there, and UCLA was playing Texas A&M, which was his school. UCLA's our school. So we had no idea what we're doing. Loran was absolutely like loved it. But I had no clue. I had trust in him though. Didn't ask him where we're going. Didn't ask what we were doing. Just what did I need to wear, right? That was it. But since then the kids got older and I worked, and you know, we obviously didn't get married. I haven't met someone like that who's just like, hey, kind of like you, like, this is what we're doing. Like, and I can feel safe mentally, emotionally, all, physically, all of that. Because I feel like even guys our age have kind of accepted the weak era thing. Like they also want to be part of it. They want to now take care of me.
Men today want
Yes.
to be baby girl.
Yes.
And I have to remind
They wanna
them,
be
like, I am
princesses.
baby girl. Don't
Yes.
get to it. And I've literally had a conversation with somebody before where I said, I care about you. I have no problem. I will cater to you. If you want me to take your socks, I'll take your socks off. I will cater to you. I have no problem doing those things. But do not for 1 second forget that at the end of the day, I am baby girl. Me, not you. And that's a problem.
It is a problem, and I don't think that you realize it. Like,
Well, yeah, because I can't relate with it, so I don't see
Yeah.
it at all. So
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
like, hell
But
no, I'll never be
there's-
like that. You know?
When we're at home alone together, no one needs to know about the, like, if I'm putting a little face mask on you, you can be soft and you can do these things with me. But outside of this, no, I'm never going to open your door. What? Absolutely not. Like, there's just certain things outside to the world. You show that you are the man. Be that man.
Yeah.
At home, if we need to, you want to turn your brain off. It's been a long day. Okay, I can take a step back today, and I'll do all these other things that normally you would do, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But no, I am baby girl.
You're all, and I agree with you. Like, at any age.
You had said this before, like, and I didn't even know what it meant, but you were like, "Are you a princess, a passenger princess?"
Princess,
And I'm like,
Passenger
what the fuck is that? But
I
that's
wanna
kind of
be a
these
passenger
guys are
princess.
now. You were saying, and I
Oh.
see them.
If I'm
The
dating
girl's got the
somebody-
job. The guy doesn't
Yeah.
even have a job. She drops him off. He drops her off or drops herself off. He takes her car all day, runs around, does dumb shit. Probably, and freaking picks her up, and she's painting like, what the fuck
If
is?
I
going on
have to
here?
drive, I'll drive every now and then, right? And sometimes I like to drive if it's short distance, but I'm at a point out of travel softball and Loran and everywhere she took me around the United States, and then Seth with baseball. I don't want to drive anymore. So if I date you and you're like, well, come pick me up, I will literally be like, this guy, like, this ain't gonna last because
First,
I'm
you
not.
don't want me to drive. So
No,
if
we
you
do
know
not
you
want
don't want
Lexi
me
to
to
drive.
Want to
drive.
get there in one piece?
No.
But if you and if that's the point, and you're like and they're like, well, I'm tired too. Okay, so you want me to drive? Like, first of all, that's a lack of judgment on your part. And then I also compare it, and it's hard not to. But I have friends, like male, just friends, that even when, let's say, we're gonna go out to lunch or something, and like, oh, meet me here, and then we're gonna go together. Even if it's in my car, I'll get out of my own car
And
let him
and
drive
go
it.
in the passenger seat, and
Have him
they're
drive.
just like,
Yeah.
they just already know that is just
Yeah.
standard, normal thing. So you, as my man, if
Yeah.
you are gonna sit there and let me drive,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Get out of here.
Well, I've raised Loran to be very hard, independent. I always say Loran is the me version when I was younger, right?
Yeah.
So she is very good she drives. Jackie is a passenger princess, and you know that. My daughter's an amazing provider. She never tells Jackie, well, I'm tired too. She will say, we'll get a text message during the day, like, hey, I'm going to take an hour nap.
Yeah.
Like she'll say that, but she'll call me like 8:00 at night, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm running to the store for Jackie. She needed something." And I was like, "By yourself?" She's like, "Yeah, I wanted Jackie to stay home and get the house done, and ready for bed. Like, I'm gonna go to the store and do it." And I always say, like, she is a girl, loves being a girl, so nothing. But she's a great husband.
A little bit
Oh,
towards
absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
I've heard this before. Dating whatever with women, and they're like, they want to go out. They're going to go here. Let's go have some drinks, and we're going to go dance, and then for me, I'm freaking. I work hard. I work out. I do jujitsu. I'm constantly putting my body through. Like, I can't be out or want to be out till 2 a.m. all the time at your
that
speed
age is
and
past us.
running this freaking thing. I'm like, no, like, you know what? I'm tapping out at 11 o'clock. You're lucky to have me up that late.
Well, why
right?
are you dating 25-year-olds?
I'm not dating 25-year-olds, but it's crazy how it changes.
27.
Like from you'll go from a person that's only, let's say, 46. They don't know what you're talking about. All of a sudden they hit 49. They're like, oh my God, I feel exactly what you're feeling. Like,
Yeah.
and it will hit you. These years now are big jumps.
Oh yeah.
Like for me at 53, I described it to somebody. I said, so you're on your journey and you're 46 and I'm 53 and you think you know what I'm facing and what I'm against and what I've went and how, and I'm walking a trail and I'm at the top of the peak. You're on the bottom. You're looking up at me thinking, I know what he sees on the other side. You can anticipate what you think's on the other side, but you don't know until you've got up to 53 years old how that body's breaking down on you. And on top of it, I'm a lot more physical and demanding and put my body through way more than this female did all day long. So of course I'm more tired.
So do you think
I get that they do stuff that will drain them mentally.
And you don't think that that's worse than being physically tired?
Well, I know that it can be bad, but I don't think it's worse because I own my own businesses. So if nobody worked more than me. When I owned my own business, I worked 7 days a week, like friggin' 16, 17, 19-hour days, so
I agree with
If you had to pick one, whether it would be completely in anguish, mentally stressed for a whole entire day, or it'd be like, oh, I'm so
for one
tired.
day, it's
For
for one
physically.
day.
Okay,
We're talking one
Okay,
day.
for the
yeah.
for a month.
Yeah.
Would you rather if you had to pick one and be completely mentally tired or, physically tired?
Which one
are
would
gonna
you
pick?
be?
Well, I'm
I would
used
say
to
I'd rather be
physically
physically tired. I wouldn't
because
wanna
that's
be-
who I am,
because
and I always
mentally-
do
but
it.
Mentally tired, it gets
But
so
but you
draining
can't.
become
Yeah.
physically
But
tired.
you
Yeah.
can't make the excuse, like you can't say, well, my tired is more, so I'm still good because I was only mentally and I'm still good to go dance tonight and you're wore down because you were doing this. And so you're basically excusing my discomforts or where I'm at or my exhaustion and saying that like you're trumping me or you're saying
Well,
like
that
it does,
shouldn't-
and
that's-
I'm like
no, that's a
saying
different
There
thing.
should never be a comparison, by the way. The trumping card.
the only
thing,
reason we're
like,
bringing it up
yeah.
because we're talking
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
So
But
it's not
no,
that it
but
was
women-
a comparison.
but
But what
women
I'm
do
saying
do
is
that.
they do. They
The
kind
tit
of
for
like
tat.
they think that you should be, and I'm just like, you know what, man?
I'll just tell you. You know what, Tom?
No.
Dry scoop some pre-workout. We're going out, and you'll be just fine.
But do you think that?
And you know what? I've had to do that before.
Really?
It's crazy because I was one time exhausted. I was like, hey, I want to go.
Like,
I want to go.
oh.
We're at the river. I want to go back to. I'm fucking exhausted. We got here to get here in the morning. We left at 4 a.m.
And you drove, huh?
And it's already no. I wasn't driving. It was another man driving, and we were in the car, whatever. But anyways, that doesn't matter. But you're 4 a.m. and it's freaking like 11 o'clock at night. I'm ready to go lay down, but I want to hang out with everybody. I'm like, oh fuck. Now I'm the bad guy.
They got phone.
I got to go get some freaking.
out.
So what do I got to go
That is-
do? Like I got to go get a couple espresso shots and okay, I'm here. Like
Wait, I have a
fuck,
question I've been trying to ask because do you think there's a different, like I always say there's something different in the water. I'm 51 and my body is not where I feel it should be at 51 because I look at my grandma who just passed and I'm going to go, she worked till she was 83. Now, mind you, it wasn't just the job at Pedro she had. Before that job, she went walking around and did the census. She worked for the political thing. She did all the Pop Warner cheerleading because my grandpa did the football right booster thing. Like my grandma worked at the canneries, which is you know what I mean. They didn't have cars and all that, so she walked. It was called her footmobile. That's what she used to call it. I have miles on my footmobile, right? So at 83, this woman is still walking and still working. I cannot work another 30 years, and I'm literally trying to compete with her and beat her because I want her to be like this is who you raise, right? Like, I don't want to work 30 more years. Like, my body's beat up now.
So
I want to retire by the time I'm 40.
Yeah, so like those people didn't look at life the way we did, right? There was
the reason for that though. There's a big reason for that.
they
so
lived
now-
through the Depression.
Well, no. I mean, that I'm sure, I guess, too, but that's not the reason. The reason is basically they're breaking down society and weakening them from every level possible, mentally, physically. They're breaking them down. They're giving them crappier and crappier food. There's no nutrition in any of the food. The men now today's versus my grandpa, their testosterone, a natural man working in the fields, doing whatever. He was strong and working on the railroads and working on all this shit. And this man had this testosterone level. And then you take it and you equivalent it, and it's he's falling off. And then you see them weaker and weaker, lamer and lamer boys, whatever. And more, it's just feminine as all hell, man, right? They're just so feminine. And so what is happening? What are they giving? What are they giving in the shots they give us into the
vaccine?
the vaccines?
I don't
What
take
are
them.
they giving in anything? Who knows? But I do know they're breaking it down in more ways than one. They're accomplishing their goal by mentally pumping their heads with it, what they teach them at school, what they feed them, and they're just breaking and they're just in a sense, all of them, like you said, everybody's softer and weaker.
It is just
right?
crazy.
Everybody. So like you're like, hey, I'm not as strong as my grandma, but now the girls that are younger is not as strong as you, and it's just getting weaker and weaker and weaker.
I literally sat down and wrote down every accomplishment that I know of both my grandmothers, right? I'm going to try to get this super fast. I'm going to try not to cry. And if I do, please forgive me. So my grandma from Mexico came, I don't know how old she was, with my grandpa and I think 6 of the kids. Came here. So they worked and worked and worked. Didn't speak a lick of English, right? Came up to TJ, did stay there for a little bit, came over here to America illegally, okay? Saved some money. The borders were a lot looser back then, right? Went back to TJ, Tijuana, started the process to get their green cards, right? Came here, got their green cards, did all this. Not a lick of English at all, okay? All Spanish. They bought a house. My grandpa started a construction business. They had 2 more kids. I think they had a total of 8 kids. So then my grandma worked at the canneries, right? I'm trying to run through it really fast. My dad ended up going to jail for the most stupidest thing ever, whatever. My grandma couldn't see him. They wouldn't let her in. Again, no English. She has a friend who's a lawyer. Well, her and the lawyer go see my dad in jail, not prison, jail. They beat the crap out of him. They beat the crap out of him so bad when my grandma saw it, she couldn't even recognize him. My grandmother sued the state. My dad comes home. My dad flips out, becomes schizophrenic. My grandpa happens to become paralyzed. So now she has a crippled husband and a mentally unhealthy child. Suing the state. Takes them back to Mexico, gets them settled, comes back, settles a lawsuit. She wins. So my brother and I got Social Security until we were 18. My grandma got it. My dad got it. My grandpa got it. Goes back to Mexico. They build all kinds of stuff, right? They build a beautiful house. They have their acres, whatever. But every summer, this woman who does not speak English comes all the way up, which to drive to Mexico, it's like 2.5 days to get there, to get her American grandkids, to make sure we knew who we were and where we come from, and took us back. And at the end of the summer, brought us back. I'm not that strong. There's no way I could have done all that stuff. And then I look at my grandma here and everything she's done. Like, they just don't make people like that. And I think it's because they all sacrificed so much and had so much hardship and went through so much and survived it.
Yeah.
Nothing was going to stop them.
All the things they had to do were difficult.
Yes.
Everything.
I think most women or people couldn't do those things. I think you personally, I think you absolutely could, because think of all the things that you have done and you did it because you had no other choice.
That's true.
Yeah.
You don't have if you don't have a safety net, you'll do a whole lot of shit.
So
I look
you
at those
absolutely
2
would.
women, and believe me, I want to eventually do a podcast on grandparents, because those 4, I don't know where. First of all, I don't know why I was even given 4 of those people, because they are just the most amazing human beings ever, right? The 4 of them. I was blessed with 4 of them. But my grandparents are awesome, and their stories are different. But as a woman, I look at both my grandmothers and I just think, thank you for leaving so much in me, but I'm never going to be like them. And when people are like, oh, are you jealous of that girl? No. Want to know who I compete with? Those 2 women.
But
I'm never going to win.
Look at like grandma and everything. I think like me and Lauren can say we would look at you guys that way.
Yeah,
Oh,
the younger.
okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Because it's a. Yeah,
And like the way that Emery's going to look
Like,
at
yeah.
Lauren and Jackie
everybody.
and the women.
Yeah.
Like, I just think
Yeah.
that's.
I just feel like my grandma here was at the end of the Depression, right? But she still tells us stories about it. And so she was kind of like a hoarder, but like a clean
But
hoarder.
everything that our grandparents that were way back that age, they had to freaking do so much hard shit. So the next hard shit wasn't that big of a deal to them. Like, they had to be out there plowing their own fields. They were in there digging. They were freaking like doing all this. They were carrying freaking bullets for their man in a fight and whatever. And they were, they were doing
time and circumstance that have made people soft, because before you had no choice. You literally were
You're either gonna eat and dig
plucking the chicken and killing the cow. Where now people don't even go to the grocery store anymore.
Yeah.
Everything is so
Handed
instant
to
and
them.
disposable.
No
so you
man
don't
back
have to.
then was going to ask a woman, what do you bring to the table? Because he knew she cooked, she cleaned, but a lot of men would look at women and say, okay, I'm going to move to this state and start a farm, right? But if she was not a strong woman and she was a gentle woman, he wouldn't marry her because he needed
help.
Yes.
Needed help.
So
even the kids, everybody, man, you're all involved.
Yes.
All you suckers gonna be tough. We're gonna all plow this field together. We're all gonna plant the seed. We're all gonna, milk the cows.
And my grandpa here married my grandma because his main concern was, I want kids. Well, he knew she could have one because my grandma already had one. So he was like, he was already in love with her. But now that he's like, that's my girl. And they did. They had 5 more kids, right? So to him, so when I joked to you when you said, what do you bring to the table? I was like, I bring my ovaries to the table. And then Lexi said, they don't even work anymore. I was So I guess at some point, men might have looked at a woman and said, what could she bring to the table, right? Every generation. But they watched what she can bring. They didn't ask it. So I think
Sure.
now that men today are actually asking it.
Well, I think it's because we have so many things, such as this, the topic. You know, we have a podcast. There's discussions.
Mhm.
This is what's happening on social media. There's other podcasts. There's other, you know. So these things are being asked, and it's just a
Right. 'Cause
conversation.
like we said, I don't
right?
know anybody who has ever
And
said
a
that
date.
in real life. Like in a date, none of my friends have ever been like, "Do you know what this man just asked me?" Like never.
But what I'll say about that whole thing too, about bringing something to the table, because I think a long time we had a conversation or something about it, but it was like, bring the table. If he said, you know, that, like, and I said, but if you think about it, you know, when people say, you know, what do you bring to the table? If you invited me to your house and you were making dinner and there was a party or whatever, out of respect, I bring something to the table.
Oh, you
It's
always
coming.
do. Every
Yeah,
time you come,
Everybody
you do.
does,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So they shouldn't be offended. They should be like, when the person says, oh, "What do I bring?" Either I'm coming with
You never
a bottle of wine, I'm coming with some dessert, I'm coming with some flowers to put on the centerpiece of the table, but I'm coming out of respect to bring something to the table. I'm not just going barehanded and say, "What do you mean? I'm bringing me. That should be good enough." And that's the answer you get a lot. I'm just bringing me. It's like, well, honey, yeah, I'm sorry to be bad news, but yeah, you ain't enough to just bring you. You know, you better bring some of these attributes and these qualities and things that we were talking
look
about
at the
earlier.
women. If you really look at it, look at the women that have those answers. Like, well, I bring me. Like superficially, those are the women that have the BBLs that are very superficial. Like
Mhm.
those are the women that I feel like answer that
Yeah.
a majority of the time.
I also think that if you genuinely met somebody in your head, you're looking at what she can bring. We said this, right?
Mhm.
You're never going to ask her. I think if you're 3, 6, 9 months in and you really think this is a woman, I think you would sit down and you would have a conversation like, this is what I enjoy about the relationship. This is what I like. This is where I see it going. This is what I want. What about
But if
you?
you're really serious and it's crazy, and this is a hard one too, but it's crazy and you're intentional, you almost got to ask some hard questions.
Oh, I
You
agree with
do.
that.
You have to ask some hard questions on where really is your finances. Like, are you got bad credit and I want to buy a house with you and I can't because you're this and that, or you're in, you know, debt for 60 grand and you got student loans and you got whatever. I need to know, like, but everybody plays like, oh, I got everything, you know, I look at everything, you know, rosy on the outside, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything is cool. And you're like, geez, man, like,
Yeah.
but if you're going to go serious with this person,
Yeah.
now you're going to be willing to like, am I going to be able to take all that on plus, and now, you know,
Can you ask somebody,
how do you do that?
like when you say, what do you bring to the table, right? Like, so what you just said, like, there's things I don't think you need to know about the people you were with way before, but if you've ever been to jail, because that is a huge thing, right?
Mhm.
I want to know if I'm hanging out with somebody and we're dating and there's a future,
Uh-huh.
I need to know. And what did you go to jail for?
Yeah,
Because if you went to jail for something that's,
sure.
you know, if you were selling weed 20 years ago when weed was like a thing, right? And you got 2 years, what? I know you're jailbird. Is that what you're gonna say?
I mean,
I'm not offended that you went to jail. I've been to
you
jail.
mean, do you ask?
But I mean, I want to know, because what if you went to jail for some sexual assault or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
You know, or you did something to your younger sister, or I think we should know
you're
these
allowed
things.
to ask, especially if you're sleeping with that person. There is no question that you're not allowed to ask. First of all, I've seen you naked, so I'm allowed to ask you anything at this point.
No, because I don't think somebody should be able to ask somebody else if they had an abortion. It's not your business. That was before you.
I think if you're asking about, yeah,
Wait, what
I
do
do
you-
think yes, I think
That's
Yeah.
between you and
I
God.
think you can ask that.
But
because-
why?
Because I think like, what if it's like what if I feel so strongly, like this is just an example because I don't care
Yeah.
either way. But if I'm somebody who morally I am so convicted in this, and then
Yeah.
now you're opposite, and now this is a thing.
But it-
like I think that there's
Now we're going to teach whoever.
there's something.
No, because in that, as a woman, in that moment, and I'm not for it or against it. I'm not.
Yeah,
That's not. This
I
is a
could feel it.
conversation. You don't know. What if that woman got raped by her brother?
Right.
Got raped by her dad? Just got raped in general, right? Or there's so like we don't know why that woman chose that. And sometimes I have friends that have gone through things. It's nobody's business but their own. That's
I
between
think there's
them
a lot
and
of
God.
questions that you don't even want to ask.
Yes.
I think
there's certain things you just like.
I think at a certain age it's irrelevant. Like if
Yes.
it happened when you were 16 and now you're 50, what does that matter?
If you're 16 and now you're 21,
Well,
I
I
need to
don't
know
think that-
because maybe you can't have kids because of it.
exactly.
You know, something
so I
like
think
that. Yeah.
it just depends.
Yeah.
Well, there's also the matter of the man is now having to deal with that emotional trauma on you, though. Like you're going to react to certain situations in a certain way.
Always.
Well, so it is. I mean,
always, but a lot.
it can be traumatic for people.
Yeah.
It can. But anything's traumatic for people. So I mean, there's things, and I get what you're saying. You're right. But you would hope that at 51, 50, 35, if any of us did it, I'm just saying, using us for example at age, like at this point, we're trying to heal and be grown. If something we did when kids is still traumatizing to us, then
Yeah, but if you're couples in your 20s and you're just getting together, that's a big deal.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that's what
no,
I
that's
think
what we're
that-
saying. The younger couple, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I can't watch the movie Pulp Fiction. That gives me like triggers trauma. I'm like the drug use in there just like instantly turns me off, and I'm like I can't do it. And people love Pulp Fiction, like, and I love John Travolta, but I just cannot watch that movie. Yeah, it is just nope. So you're right, Solomon. People do have triggers and trauma.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Tom?
I feel great.
Feel like you got your
I was curious. I wanted to hear the other side. I wanted to hear somebody like Lexi say these other things that she was gonna bring a softness. She was gonna bring, humor. She was gonna do all these other things because I think they were just all over here with this finance and thinking.
I did because to me at
Everybody-
that
they
point
went there right away.
I feel like that's what most guys because of the whole soft era thing. Like, what do you mean? What do I?
I don't
bring?
think any real men are asking because any a masculine man don't ask that. Like if I make 200,000 a year and she makes 70, I don't give a fuck, But sometimes the other way around, the women have a little harder time a lot of times. Like
because then
if
it
it was
requires the woman to be masculine in that way. And
so
it's like,
now she has to, she's making more money and he's making less. And if there's a vacation going on or something, she's going to pick up the difference. And and some of them are like, you know what? I already got a kid. I don't need another one.
Yep.
And so they're not trying to, but it's crazy. But the man would do it.
unless you could fix
And
my
it's
You know what I
whole
mean? The
house.
man, the opposite.
and it's
The
a
man
double
would do it
sta-
more.
and it's
it'd
a
be
double
little
standard,
easier.
but that's just the way the world is. And
Then
well,
that's
suck it up.
right?
It's
It
just how
is.
it has to be.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. Like, sorry.
Yep.
Like,
I agree, but if you make 70, 50 grand, but you could remodel my
Oh,
whole
yeah,
house,
yeah.
that's a deal, buddy. I'm good with that because then I
Right.
know
You're still bringing.
Yes.
You're still bringing something.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
still making my life easier and better with whatever
Yes.
you're bringing. And this goes the same thing to being gentle, to being funny, to being all these. You're taking a load off of my.
Yeah.
Like you're making my world just that much better by having you in it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Did you let him have it?
no, I thought this was going to be way more like, and
He was
What?
like, "Is
I was-
who's coming?" And I was like, "Lexi's like, yeah, little Spitfire." It's gonna
you
be
know what? This
good."
was actually very cool. This was a very mature conversation.
Oh, you've grown.
New year.
She's
I've been
all
going to
new.
church.
Yeah. New Year, there you go.
She's like, I go to church now. I got Jesus. Have you been lately?
Yeah, no, I literally go like every week.
Really?
And I even went this past Wednesday for a prayer night.
Right.
Lorette, no, I know you guys, nobody believed me. They thought like I was stranded. They're like, they checked my location. They're like, where are you? I was like, at church. And she literally texted me. She's like, with a cross? And I said, yes.
It was a Sunday, and we were coming to my house, and we wanted to know if Lexi had left yet because we were gonna have you run to the store or something. So I was like, "Where are you?" She was like, "Church." I was like church with like I think I put praying hands and a cross. She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "This is Lexi?" Like so. And there's been a situation lately, and I had to call her, and we talked, and she's like, "I said, Lex, I'm really proud of you. You're like, I'm shocked, but I'm proud of you. You're the mature one in all this." She goes, "I go to church now. I got to answer to God." I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Let's go, Lexi." Okay.
No.
All
Yeah.
right.
Have you prayed for a man?
I've not like to bring one into my life because I like feel like that's gonna happen organically.
Wait, I
But
thought you had a boyfriend.
Okay, so let's move on. So have
Wow.
things happen.
I'm behind.
But there is a man that I have prayed for. Like I hope that God does not harden his heart and heals his mind and protects him for all these things.
God says,
you
be
know,
specific when you pray.
And if something
You're talking just Not a particular man,
I'm not
just
praying.
a man.
No, I'm not.
some-
No. I'm not. I'm not saying like, God, please bring this man into my life. No, it's gonna happen organically, and like But
It's coming from God.
He knows the man that I want. I want a very specific type of man, yes, but
not a specific person right now.
Like, does he have a name?
Like you have somebody in mind.
There is a person in my life that I do pray for.
Okay.
Yes, but I'm not praying. Like I pray for him like as an individual, but I'm not praying for him. Like if that makes sense.
But if God wanted to send him your way healed and all that stuff, then you'll take it.
You know, who am I to say no?
She's like, who am I to say no? Thank you guys so much. Solomon, you were kind of huffing and puffing a few times back there, but you let these two go. I saw you.
Well, I mean, just the whole conversation is like just based around all of these TikTok videos and stuff where women are saying what they want and they want a high value man and all this stuff. That's really where that question came from. The whole, what do you bring to the table? Because this is men's response going, okay, what? You're asking all of this from us. Now, what are you willing to put up, or what do you come with? And these women, of course, come up with these dumb answers about stuff that men don't care about. And so I understood it from Tom's point of view. But like you guys said, it's not something that people necessarily actually ask. It's more of a theoretical conversation and a state of mind thing. So.
But I think on both ends, I'm going to speak from the woman's point of view. Women do ask each other, well, does he have a job? Well, how many kids does he have? Well, where's he at? Well, how much money? Girl, he only makes that. You can find somebody else. Like, I think that women do that.
Yeah.
Sure. And that basically is what does the man bring to the table in that sense, right?
Right.
I feel like at that point, that's the same thing where I don't think that men have those conversations. I have enough guy friends where I feel like, is she cool? She hot? How many kids she got? How many baby daddies she have? Like, but she's good. And it's not because they care really. It's more like, I don't want to have to fight 3 baby daddies on the front lawn, right?
Yeah.
But I've never known somebody my generation to ever say, oh, well, she only makes 50 grand, or oh, she only this, or she only that. Like, well, first of all, if that woman's working her ass off and only makes 50 grand, that's still 50 grand. And that is a woman working. So don't ever downplay that for her, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think men think like that, right? Like if you meet somebody and you see she has a job, that's all you care about is a job. That just because that shows that she's reliable, she's responsible, right? That show you don't care how much money she makes. But I think the younger generation, like Lexi was saying, definitely does.
Baby girl.
Mm-hmm. Baby girl. I cannot, like, I don't even know how to be a baby girl. I want to be a baby girl. And if you're a baby girl, I'm going to laugh at you.
I like it over here.
I can't, like, I'm trying so hard to learn to be a baby girl. I keep saying I'm going to end up marrying me like a Pablo. Like, when Sheila came and did my electrical thing and then did my roof, I was just like, and then when he called me lazy, I was like, oh, so how are you? Like, that's awesome. Like, you insulted me and didn't even know it. And I was just like, I loved it. I was like, man, put me in my place for a second.
So where is this man now?
Singing karaoke, probably drinking away like a typical Mexican with my daughter and well, both my daughters and their friend's house in Long Beach. They send me videos of him singing karaoke and drinking. But he's the typical old-fashioned Mexican. He works like 6-7 days a week. He'll get drunk till 3 a.m, but he'll be on that roof at 7 a.m, like he says, pounding away. So I think I'm going to end up with one of those one day. That's all I'm saying. We'll see. Anyways, thank you. Thank you, Solomon, so much. I appreciate you.
No problem.
I do. Tom, we out till next time?
Yeah.
You going to think of next week's topic?
Probably.
All right. I'm going to have to see if we can.
Maybe Lexi's going to think of the next topic.
I actually do
Just
have
like,
an idea.
just like she said, she has all these good ideas all the time.
I'm telling you, I really do.
All right, little spitfire. Well, thank you guys. We have Instagram, TikTok. Please like, subscribe, share. We genuinely love Tom. He's our friend. Anything we see on here is not offensive. We don't bully him. The fact that you think we could bully him is amazing. I will argue Disneyland because it's the happiest place on earth. On earth, not in heaven. On earth. So, but until next time, thank you so much. Bye.